Hello, we will announce the world's one and only real-time chart, HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart starting now. This is your host, Joe, and if you're curious about K-pop album sales, please subscribe to the channel and also like this video. We'll get started and take a look at the weekly physical album chart rankings of the 4th week of May. Starting with the 10th place. 10th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by Only One Of. The album, their new album, is called Produced by Part 1, and it was sold 2,588 copies in the last week. They just made their comeback on the 21st of May, and they are also going to be celebrating the first debut anniversary on the 28th. Congratulations. The time really flies by quickly. Feels like it's not been that long since we heard the name Only One Of for the first time. And for this album, as you can tell by the name of the album, the whole concept around this album is like different producers all around the world are participating in producing this album. So there are multiple producers who have participated in producing this album, including Gray, who participated in the title track, and also Chacha Malone and other top producers. And the title track is called Angel. And if you watch the music video, it uses a lot of sort of neon colors and CGI, and the song itself features really sleek autotunes as well, and sort of gives you the like a retro vibe almost. So it's a very I think the song itself also has some like reminiscent of retro feel. So if you enjoy that kind of aesthetics, definitely give it a listen to the title track Angel. That was in the 10th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May, taken by Only One Of. Their album, Produced by Part 1, was sold 2,588 copies in the 4th week of May. Moving on to the 9th place. 9th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by TAO. Their album, Reason for Being Benevolence, was sold 3,340 copies in the last week. So this album is doing very well, and also all across the globe. So this album placed second in the global authentication chart, weekly, that is, last week, and also in the 9th place of just weekly physical album chart in general. And there's gonna be interview videos released on Who's Doll, on Who's Fan. It's by member, I guess, pairs of members. So definitely check it out. I think it's full of fun information about TO members, and especially them being a rookie group. I'm sure there are a lot of things that you want to know about them as well. So check that out. The Who's Doll episode, interviews on Who's Fan. And that was in the 9th place. TO's Reason for Being album, that was sold to 3,340 copies in the 4th week of May. Moving on to the 8th place. 8th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by BTS. BTS, their album Map of the Soul 7 was sold 3,448 copies in the last week. And probably all of you know, if you are on social media one way or the other, Suga has released his mixtape after 4 years. His second mixtape, called D2, is released, and the title track is called Deishita. And it was sort of like a music that would be played in like a royal court for kings and super high ups, basically, back in the day in Korea. So it's obviously Yoongi is portraying himself as a king who climbed up to that position from the very bottom, and it's a very catchy song for sure. It has a trap beat underneath, and the music video itself has been a lot of fans' interest because there are appearances of some of the BTS members, and also a lot of parody going on in the music video. So it's great. To be honest, I personally haven't listened to the whole album yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And that was in the 8th place, BTS Map of the Soul 7 album that was sold 3,448 copies in the last week. This weekly physical album chart result is presented by HANTEO Chart, the world's one and only real-time music chart. And if you enjoy learning about music album sales and other K-pop information, please subscribe to the channel and also like this video. Moving on to the 7th place. 7th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by Day 6. Day 6 album, they're called The Book of Us, the Demon, was sold 4,828 copies in the last week. So as you know, Young K, one of the members, was appointed as the member MC of Idol Radio, and he just made his first appearance on it last week. There were a lot of support from the fans and the other label mates for that, and he's been also doing this YouTube content called YBC, which is Young K Broadcast, and he does a lot of fun contents every week. And I believe the first one was to make a song to subscribe to the channel, and the second one was to become a YouTuber for kids, and the third one was ASMR, and I guess the fans are looking forward to the new content that's going to come next week as well. Definitely check it out if you are a fan. And that was in the 7th place, Day 6, The Book of Us, the Demon album that was sold 4,828 copies in the 4th week of May. Moving on to the 6th place. 6th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by Yusujong. Her first solo album, Tiger Eyes, was sold 7,684 copies in the last week. As you know, she is a member of Lovelyz, and this is her first solo album after 6 years of her debuting as Lovelyz. And like the name Lovelyz, the group usually does a lot of a cute, lovely concept, but in this solo album and title track, also called Tiger Eyes, Yusujong tried this new charismatic, sexy concept that you probably wouldn't have imagined from her activities or promotions from Lovelyz. And my first impression I watched the music video was that her blue hair looks amazing. She has sort of like a purplish blonde hair and also really bubbly, I guess, sky blue hair, and they both look amazing. And I think it's a great song. It's almost like an easy listening, almost, because it's such a song with such a great flow, and needless to say, her vocals are amazing. So definitely a song to give a listen, called Tiger Eyes. And that was 6th place on the Chart's weekly physical album chart, 4th week of May, taken by Yusujong of Lovelyz. Her solo album, Tiger Eyes, that was sold 7,684 copies in the last week. This weekly physical album chart is brought to you by HANTEO Chart, the world's one and only real-time music chart. And this album is based on the automatically collected data from album sales data for all across the world. So if you have bought an album to support your artist last week, that purchase has counted towards this week's broadcast as well. Moving on to the 5th place. 5th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by Ken of VIX. And his album is called, for whatever reason, I only have it in Korean in front of me, so I'm gonna do a very quick search. It's called Greeting in English. His album Greeting was sold 7,964 copies in the last week. And this is his actually also a first solo debut. And obviously VIX has been around for a long time, so it's the solo debut after 8 years of his promotion as VIX member. And the title track is called in English Just a Moment, and the Korean direct translation would be Just to See You 10 More Minutes. So it's very as you can tell, it's a very sad almost like a clingy song, but in a good way, I guess. And it's a really heartbreaking ballad song. And if you watch the music video, there are two different scenes. So like one scene is sort of in this dark living room with fireplace and all, and I guess it's him sort of thinking back to the good old days of being with his loved one, and that sort of like a past thought is in this rural setting. So there's like a really good contrast there, and you can sort of really get into this music video and the story of the sad ballad song. And yeah, so there are a lot of good songs on this new album, so definitely give it a listen. And that was in the 5th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May. Ken of Vix's Greeting, that was sold 7,964 copies in the 4th week of May. Moving on to the 4th place. 4th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by New East. Their album, The Nocturne, was sold 11,149 copies in the last week. As we have talked about them in much length last week, they have placed first in the weekly physical album chart last week, and obviously they have been promoting with this the title track on the music shows in the past week, and they have won 4 wins in different music shows. So I think I remember like the fans have been like really touched and like cried a lot when they got their first win after several years of debut, and now here they are claiming the wins from music shows like as they should. So I'm sure like a lot of the fans will be very proud of New East as well. And that was 4th place, HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart, 4th week of May, taken by New East. The album called Nocturne was sold 11,149 copies in the last week. And on the 3rd place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May is Nct Dream. Their album, album Reload, was sold 27,078 copies in the last week. I guess for them, there's gonna be a new live album and also a photo book that's gonna be released called The Dream Show, and that is from the first solo concert that was held November of last year. Those good old days when we actually had a concert face to face. Obviously the tour itself was called Nct Dream Tour, the Dream Show, and the photo book's gonna include the lively photos from the concert itself, and the live album's gonna be your usual album with the songs that has been sang live in the concert. So looking forward to that. That's gonna be released on June 9th, and that's in 3rd place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May. Nct Dream's Reload, that was sold 27,078 copies in the last week. This weekly physical album chart result is brought to you by HANTEO Chart, the world's one and only real-time music chart. And if you enjoy watching this this broadcast, or just enjoy learning about the music album rankings, or just new things that are going on in the K-pop world, please subscribe to this channel and also like this video. Moving on to the 2nd place. 2nd place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by Tomorrow by Together. Their new album, The Dream Chapter Eternity, was sold 181,009 copies in the last week. And this is their 3rd album, I believe, and they have already won the title of the leader of the 4th generation K-pop idols. As you know, there are like different generations of idols, and I think everybody was wondering when would be the beginning of the 4th generation, and this is it. Tomorrow by Together is sort of named and titled as the leader of the 4th generation idol. And as you know, the title track of this album is called Can't You See Me. It's definitely the most darkest album and concept they've ever tried, and have a very strong facial expression during this day as well. And the song is supposed to be expressing the confusion and fear after facing this world who just burnt down to ashes. And this is because it's the story after the previous album, and the Dream Chapter Magic, and like it's supposedly all the magical time is over and everything is just burnt down to the ground. And it's very, I think the music video, I think, could be very scary. I was personally really scared when I first watched the music video, but it's also definitely aesthetically pleasing too in a way. So definitely check it out. And like the members say, it said in one of the music shows, the killing part of the song is the part when they sort of whisper to save me. So I think it's a very dramatic song if you just listen to the song itself too. Just definitely check it out. And that was in the second place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May. Tomorrow by Together, the Dream Chapter Eternity was sold 181,009 copies in the last week. And we're only left with the first place, and the top of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May was taken by NCT 127. Their album, NCT 127 Neozone, The Final Round, was sold 244,598 copies in the last week. And this is actually their first, NCT 127's first album to have earned the title of million seller. So congratulations. So obviously the popularity and the fan support for NCT 127 is, going up and up. And continue from the previous title, Hero. I'm saying Hero because I'm looking at the Korean title, but it's called Kick It in English. Continue from Kick It. This time, the title track is called Punch, and this is also has a very strong performance on the stage. And I would say the title track's music video is sort of like a psychedelic vibe. Like all the members are dancing in this room surrounded by mirrors and really bright bluish light. And also, if you look at the album cover, it has like a really retro gamey feel. So like it's called The Final Round and it looks sort of like a retro game, and even the title track is called Punch. And I think the music video also gives a sense that they're sort of in this virtual world, like almost like the world created by illusions, at least to me. And I believe in the lyrics there's some allusion to that too, like but that's definitely just my guess, and definitely check that out yourself. It's a I would say, if I have to pick one, like Kick It is definitely more of like a catchy song, but Punch is definitely also a powerful song. So if you enjoy listening to NCT 127 music in general, I believe you would also like this title. And that was in the first place, HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of 4th week of May, NCT 127's new album, NCT 127 Neozone, The Final Round, that was sold 244,598 copies in the last week. So that was everybody on the weekly physical album chart. Congratulations. And if you're curious about how many new albums that will be released in the next week and be ranked on the weekly physical album chart, definitely check out the WhosFan app. And there's the weekly chart, of course, but also daily and real-time chart as well. So if you have an artist that you are supporting that are releasing the album next week, which there are a lot, by the way, in the coming weeks, definitely download the app and follow how well the album is doing of your favorite artist. And also, there were a lot of fun votes and events going on as well. And recently, for the votes, there is the M Countdown Global Pre-Voting got added to WhosFan app. So if you are a global fan who's watching this video, definitely download the app. If there is your favorite artist coming back next week or the weeks after, definitely download it and vote for your favorite artists and support them to help them to get their win in M Countdown as well. Also, please subscribe to this channel, WhosfanTV, and like this video, and we will continue to report on the weekly charts and other fun news in the K-pop world. And that's everything that we have for this week. Thank you for watching, and this was your host, Jo. See you next week. Bye, everyone.